Today's topic is about marine battery maintenance and servicing. Maintenance of battery is very important to prevent any leakages. On board ship, because of the environmental condition of humid and corrosion, battery should be regularly maintained. Batteries are one of the energy source available on board vessels, which are used in case of blackout and emergency situation on board a ship. These batteries apparently used for low voltage DC system like bridge navigational instrument, navigational lights, emergency lighting system, GMDSS, etc. And this is kept charged in case of the emergency need to be powered. When the battery operation in a circuit is active, it provides the current to the equipment depending upon its capacity. And the battery is measured in ampere hours. So the next slide, this is the meter, which is hydrometer, which is used to measure the specific gravity of the battery. And this is to sense the voltage. This is the picture which is representing. The first point of battery maintenance is battery must be clean and dry. There should not be any dirt deposit on the battery or spilled electrolyte on the casing, since this will lead to discharge of battery, flowing of stray current, and also corrosions. Battery terminals should be kept clean and smeared with petroleum jelly. The small vent in the cell caps should be clear at all the time. So this is what the structure of the battery. So this is the anode terminal, this is positive anode terminal, and this is negative terminal. Inside we have the insulating material, wood or something which is going to divide your anode and cathode. Each cell, a single cell, will produce about 2.2 volt. And if it is going to be a 12 volt battery, then 6 cells will be placed inside. And we have H2SO for sulfuric acid. On board ship, mostly they'll be using alkaline battery or lead acid battery. So first point is battery must be clean and dry, and the electrolyte solution should not be spilled out. So this will lead to the discharge of the battery flowing. So because of the stray current, also corrosions. So we have to apply petroleum jelly on the terminals. And the small vent cap should be cleared at all the time. So next point, the battery is charged using the full charge circuit. And once the battery is fully charged, the charges on the battery are maintained by the trickle charging circuit. What does that mean? What is trickle charging circuit? When a battery is kept at the emergency reserve, it is necessary to ensure that it is fully charged at all time and ready for the service at any time. So the charged battery always loses some of its charges due to its charge, some internal leakages and other open circuit losses. In order to compensate this such type of loss of charge, the battery is kept on the trickle charging. So trickle charging will take a very small charging rate. That is, charging current is very small. Typically, the trickle charging current is less than 1% of the normal charging current of the battery. The discharged battery or first charged and their normal charging rate at the normal charging rate, and once it is fully charged, then it is switched over to the continuous trickle charging rate. So due to compensate the losses in the battery, this compensation of losses, the losses takes place because of the internal leakages and also due to the open circuit. So this losses is being compensated by charging the battery in the trickle charge condition, because at any time at emergency condition, the reserve has to be used. That is the only reserve we have for onboard ship. So it is always necessary to ensure that it is fully charged at all the time and ready to service at any time to the required equipment. Note that the discharged batteries are first charged with their normal charging rate. And once if it is fully charged, then it is switched over to the continuous trickle charging condition. So that is 1% of charging. So 1% of current is used to charge to compensate the loss. So it is very low current, very small charging rate. It is trickle charging. Sometimes the sulfation can also take place if the battery is overcharged or left uncharged for a long time. So what is this sulfation? The battery has to be maintained with a particular temperature, maybe like 15 degree to 40 degrees centigrade. It should not be overcharged or it should not be undercharged. So what is this term which is called as sulfation is, suppose if we use a lead acid cell battery, if it is not fully charged, if it is not fully charged periodically, then it starts to release lead sulfate. So lead sulfate is formed during the discharging, and this is not converted into lead oxide. So this sulfate is like a crystal, tiny crystal like substance that will be getting deposited on the anode and cathode plates. So these plates will become very hard and it will get damaged. And this process is called as the sulfation process. This is taking place due to the overcharging or uncharged for a longer time. So what this sulfation effect will do is it will increase the internal resistance. So that leakage will be more, drop will be more, and reduction in the capacity and the efficiency. And the lifespan of the battery also. The anode and cathode plates will be with the lead sulfate and it will become hard and in the damaged condition. So battery should be always maintained in a charging condition to give the reserve backup. Sulfation can also take place if the battery overcharged or left uncharged for a longer time. So this is what about the sulfation. So this should not happen in the battery. And about the electrolyte level. The electrolyte level should be maintained just above the top of the plates. Any liquid loss due to evaporation and the battery is charging and discharging, this evaporation will take place or the chemical reaction that should be replaced with the distilled water. So the level of the electrolyte must be tested. Next, specific gravity is measured in the battery. So what do you mean by the specific gravity? Specific gravity, the ratio of the two liquids. The electrolyte liquids consist of acid and water. So that is the ratio which we are going to measure the specific gravity. If the specific gravity is going to be 1, that is equivalent to the water. So it will not be like an electrolyte solution. It has to be near about 1.28. The meter which is used to measure the specific gravity is called as an hydrometer. So the meter which is used is hydrometer. Both the specific gravity as well as the voltage has to be measured. So what is this hydrometer working principle is actually? The hydrometer is an arrangement that is made in which a float is placed inside a cylindrical glass tube. So this we can see here, a float which is kept in the cylindrical glass tube. This is a glass container. The outer surface is a glass container. And one end we are having the rubber tube and one end we are having a rubber bulb. So hydrometer is an arrangement which is made in which a float is placed in a cylindrical glass tube. The glass tube has a rubber bulb at one end and a rubber tube at the other end. And the scale is drawn, the marking is drawn in this. Marking is drawn in this meter. Scale is drawn to measure the value, the level of the float is measured. To measure the charge, electrolyte from each cell is taken in a glass tube and the specific gravity is measured. It is necessary that the cells must have almost the same charges. The specific gravity reading should be approximately in the fully charged battery is 1.28 at 15 degrees centigrade. 1.28 at 15 degrees centigrade. So this green shows it is in condition of good condition, the green. So state of charging rate is 100%. So this is okay, 1.28 specific gravity. More than that 12, 6.5, 12.40 and these things. This shows the battery voltages. What is the voltage level of the battery? So if the voltage, if we are using a 12 volt battery, it should be more than 12 volt. The open circuit battery voltage should be more than 12 volt. If it is less than 12 volt, then it will be having only 40% of the charging condition. So charge, it loses the charging condition. It will be less than 40% of the state of charging. If it is more than 12 volt, it is good. It is in a good charging condition. If it is less, then it is in discharging condition. So we must check for the electrolyte solutions. So this is the approximate values for specific gravity and approximate values for the voltage to be measured. So how much voltage to be measured? So the voltage is monitored. The battery voltage should be slightly more than the rated voltage. Then it indicates the full charge. That's what, if it is a 12 volt battery, it should be slightly more than 12 volt. Then it is charging condition is good. If it is less than 12 volt, then the charging is not good. It is in the discharging condition. So for additional safety in modern ship, an interlock is provided. So between the battery charger and the exhaust fan is installed. So nowadays on modern ship, interlock is provided with battery charger and the exhaust fan. So this is to ensure when the exhaust fan is inoperative, the fan is not working, then that will interrupt the battery charging operation. Since during the charging condition, lead oxide, hydrogen gases are produced from the electrolyte solution. So this hydrogen gases, even 4% of the heavy mixture of hydrogen gases can go for explosion. So we have to keep measuring, and we have to connect exhaust fan to run at all conditions, so that the gases, the explosion gases will be not present in the battery room while the battery is charged. So we are connecting the battery charger with the exhaust fan. If exhaust fan is not working, then the battery will be stop its charging operation. Then after rectifying, the battery will be again put in the charge condition to be used in the reserve wherever we need at the time of emergency, at the time of blackout. So thank you for listening. We'll see from other topic.